My name is Sophie Till and I'm co-founder of the Till Project. This is a short video to help string players solve left wrist pain. So we're going to talk about the left wrist. Where does it go? What should it feel like? And how do we get ourselves to do this? So the first thing we're going to do is actually change the question. During the day, do you ever wonder where your left wrist should go? Or for that matter, do you actually ever arrange it and make a point of putting it in a certain place? And the answer is probably no. It would actually seem rather ludicrous to do so. So what that tells us is that our brains and bodies are employing a particular physical pattern, or what we call physical logic. That means we don't have to think about it. We're just doing something automatically and it feels really good. So we're going to run a few experiments and we're going to figure out what is that physical logic. Where do we put the wrist when we're brushing our teeth, brushing our hair, putting on cream, any number of activities that we do during the day, and then we're going to walk that over to the instrument. So if I pick up a really small object, I've got some rosin here. So if I pick up a small object, what we start to notice is that the brain automatically lines up the finger, hand, and forearm unit. And therefore, it connects the wrist as part of that unit. So it doesn't have the wrist out here and it doesn't have the wrist bent inwards either. It's just connecting the hand and the forearm. If I pick up a larger object, like a cell phone, it's gonna do the same thing. And a fun thing to watch actually is you can go into a restaurant, you can go into a supermarket, you can study your family at a meal. If you watch glasses of water, knives and forks, any number of activities, getting cereal packets off shelves, you'll notice that everybody is employing that same logic. They are connecting the wrist as part of the finger, hand, and forearm unit, whether it's right hand or left hand. They're not deciding or arranging where that left wrist goes. So let's look at some of the ways this goes wrong on the instrument. So it's very common to have a break forwards or backwards. So a break forwards and backwards would be something like this. So a common experience can be that the arm is very far away from the body, actually in the instrument too. This is particularly true of violas, obviously with the larger size instrument. It can also be true in younger players as they get a larger size instrument. So when we feel that the arm is far away from the body, the arm becomes isolated from the torso. And therefore we have to exert pressure from here to actually get the strings down. It does get the strings down, but it actually hurts after a while because this is crushing everything inside the wrist and stretching everything on this side. The other common break in the forwards backwards direction is when we go this way. We've all seen younger players doing that in an effort to hold the instrument up. But that has the opposite effect. I'm stretching this side, everything through the wrist on top, and crushing everything underneath. So the other way that we can use the wrist in a harmful way is actually to twist it left and right. So a twist looks like this. And it has the same effect. You can see there's a crush here and a stretch here, or the opposite where we get a crush here and a stretch here. So let's take this and let's look at the movement that enables the left arm to get to the instrument so that that finger, hand, and forearm alignment is ready to go and we don't actually have to think about where the wrist goes at all. So if we swing the arm, it's really nice to put the right hand on the shoulder, then you can just feel that response through the body down to the feet. If I swing my left arm, I can feel my feet moving and I can use the movement that we call falling up. So if I fall up with the arm, it looks like this. And what you can see is there's no fancy word for it. It really is a plop. The arm settles into place. So what's happening is the forearm is creating some momentum, just like when we walk. It throws the arm up and it stacks into place and everything settles beautifully and it's completely at ease. A very common thing to see is a movement like this, where the elbow is pulled in across the body in an effort to get the fingers to line up with the strings. And then that's often very commonly followed by a twist here from the wrist. But actually when we fall up, what we notice is the arm has a beautiful distance from the body that it likes, where it feels extremely buoyant. It's almost like a little pillow of air here, where it's relating to the torso and it's extremely comfortable. Obviously, if I have a larger instrument or I'm going to move away, the torso is going to adjust accordingly over the fulcrum of the feet. So this is really step one, falling up with the plop, unfancy word though it may be, and allowing the hand and the wrist and the forearm to find that basic alignment. Very often, because we have so much pollution coming to the instrument, this can be actually quite complicated. So a good way to help the arm find that is to hold something. So when you have something in your hand, the brain instinctively has a tendency to actually line itself up because it registers it's holding an object. So if you're practicing this and it's new and you're finding everything's going all over the place, it can be a very small object. Like it can be a tissue, it can be a piece of paper, a pair of socks. I've just got some rosin here. Something in the hand that helps the brain recognize that finger, hand, and forearm connection. Works really wonderfully. The other tool that's super useful is the other hand. So same thing, just let it fall up, give it a hearty swing, and let it plop up into place. And very often the other hand or arm, because it doesn't have the pollution that the left arm has, can help teach the left arm what we really want it to feel like. It's actually a good comparison. So we've got a problem. We've got falling up, which sounds great, but the main issue is that the hand is facing the wrong way and I've got an instrument over here. So we need another movement that we combine with the falling up so that we can maintain where the wrist is and that basic alignment when we get to the instrument. So if you go back to your supermarket and studying people, what you'll start to notice is that the forearm is rotating so that people can take that finger, hand, and forearm alignment to whatever object they are reaching for off the shelves. So a forearm rotation is right at the base here of the forearm, and it turns the complete unit. It's not twisting, it's not starting here, which would look like this kind of thing. It's really deep in the arm. If I pull my sleeve up, you can see it a little bit better, where the arm flips over from here. And we use it all the time. So if you tap your nose and then tap the back of your head, and you do it in slow motion, you'll realize that you turned your forearm so the tapping here was the same as the tapping at the back of your head. So that forearm rotation is going to be wired in to the falling up, and that looks like this. I just essentially spun the arm backwards by including that fundamental rotation such that my hand is going to face my strings. Here it is again. And there's that plop. So let's put this onto the instrument. So what I'm going to do is actually use two hands. I'm going to use my right hand here. If we're working at our left arm, what we don't want to do is have no hands. The whole holding mechanism involves three parts, right? It's the shoulder area, the head, and the left arm. So if we take one of those parts away, we need to substitute with something else. Otherwise, the back of the neck is going to start to grip. And also we'll start to push from the sternum. So if I take all my hands away, I'm going to end up with this, which is extremely uncomfortable and also not what we want when we're playing. So I'm going to substitute always the left arm with the right hand up here. So what I'm going to do first is actually just swing the arm and fall up somewhere next to the violin. So I can just feel that fundamental turn, the unfancy plop, and get used to what that's like while the instrument's resting on me. And then we can start to take that to the instrument. You can do it in stages. You can actually let the thumb come to the same side as the fingers. And you can see that finger hand forearm alignment here. And then very gently let the neck of the violin take the thumb to the other side. And there's the left wrist. There's really nothing else to do. It's completely connected to the unit so that the forearm can lend its support to the fingers. We have many more videos available on our website at www.tillproject.com, addressing all kinds of different topics. Also, feel free to get in touch with us through the website. Questions are always welcome. And also, we have various events that are listed on the website. Thanks for watching.